Whisper softly ASMR. There is a hair stuck on the mic. It's a great start to the video. Hello and welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are all doing good. I know it's been 2 weeks maybe a little bit more. It's been a while. But I've been on holidays. So I'm gonna do a little whisper ramble video. Handheld mic, kinda chill, catch up, that kind of video. But yeah, that's kind of the plan for today. That's kind of the plan for this video. So to start off, I'm gonna take my Rare Beauty lip oil. This is in the shade Honesty. Sorry. This is in the shade Honesty. Not really that loud. One of the first ASMR artists that I ever watched was China Unique ASMR. She always starts her videos with a lip gloss or a lipstick, and I just find it so relaxing. Also, for this video, I am going to be taking, I'm so nervous because I don't actually have headphones for this mic yet, so I need to get some. I don't know how loud this is, but I bought these while I was in Canada. So this is Double Bubble, and I bought these specifically for my ASMR videos. but I just haven't uploaded in the last, I think it's nearly 2 weeks. Maybe more, maybe less, I don't know. I haven't uploaded in the last 2 weeks. So myself and my mum planned a surprise trip to Vancouver in Canada for my brother. So my brother's been living over there for the last 4 years. I think he went in 2019. He'd been nearly 5 years over there. Yeah, I think he left in 2019. I think it was May 2019. And he has been home. He came home in June of 2022. So last year he came home. But yeah, my mom isn't a flyer. Like, the furthest she ever went before this year was like to Spain, which is like 2 hours from Ireland, not that long. So like for my mom to get on that kind of flight was like a big deal. So when mom originally said it to me about going, I didn't believe her. I was just like, oh, just an idea. So it was kind of decided when we got back we went to the Canary Islands in May of this year, which is a 4.5 hour flight. And we would have flown with Ryanair, which would be like Ireland's resident airline, I suppose. So we flew with Ryanair. So yeah, we flew with Ryanair to the Canaries. And that is about a 4.5 hour flight. So when we did that, Mum was like, oh, I can so fly to Vancouver, you know, let's do it, let's book it. So I got in contact with one of my brother's friends over in Vancouver, and I texted him and I was like, oh, this is what we're planning. Do you think my brother would be up for it? And his friend replied and was like, oh yeah, definitely, like 100%, he'd love to see you guys. So we booked the flights back in June, I think, of this year. And then August of this year, my grandmother on my dad's side passed away, and my brother flew home for the funeral, which was unexpected, because it's such a long flight. It's about, I think it's a 9.5 hour flight, super long, and after doing it, super tiring. So my brother flew home for the funeral for, I think it was 5 days in total. So at this point we'd already booked our flights to go to Vancouver, so he didn't know, and it was a bit of a, didn't tell him. It was still all a surprise, and only his friend knew and all that kind of stuff. So trying not to slip up when he was home was so hard, because like there was points where he was talking about like how he felt sorry for people. I think he had like a 4 hour layover in Newark. I think I'm saying that right. He had a 4 hour layover there on his way back from Ireland after the funeral, and he was saying about how he felt really sorry for people with really long layovers. And I almost went, sure, me and Mum have like a 7 hour layover in London when we're coming to see you. But obviously I couldn't say that. So it was very hard not to slip up about the secret. Like anytime we were on the phone to him or like on FaceTime, I was like giggling in the background. Kind of like, this is so funny. So yeah, big surprise. So we flew over to Vancouver the end of November for his 30th birthday. So that's the whole reason for it. It was like, So I was in contact with his friend pretty much the whole time leading up to it, you know, like saying, this is what we have planned, this is what we're doing, this is where we're staying, this is when we arrive, this is when we leave, you know. So his friend was all in on all of it, because my brother's the type of person that gets like notions in his head, and he'll just plan something. He could have planned to go to Vegas for his birthday and nobody would be any wiser. So yeah, we had to have somebody on the inside. So we flew out of Ireland, Dublin, at the end of November, and we had like, I think it was like a 6 or 7 hour layover in London. So in the winter time there's no direct flights to Vancouver from Ireland, so you have to have a stopover. So we flew from Dublin to London. So we left Dublin at like 10 a.m, got to London for like 11 a.m, and didn't leave London until like, I'm trying to think when the flight was it 6 or 7 p.m? I think it was 6 p.m. So it was a long, it was a long layover in London, which didn't help with the travel at all. So the flight time from London to Vancouver was 9.5 hours. So by the time we landed in Vancouver, settled into our Airbnb and settled into bed for the night, we had been traveling for like, I think it was 26 or 27 hours at that point. We could have flown to Australia at that point. It was just the fact that we had such a long layover. It's a 2-hour drive from where we lived to Dublin, you know, like all that kind of stuff. So yeah, to say that we were tired and like my feet were so swollen as well, by the time we got to Vancouver, it was just not a pleasant experience, let's just put it that way. So got to Vancouver anyway, went straight to bed because we got there for like, we got to our Airbnb for like 10:30 p.m, super late, you know, that kind of way. So we just went straight to bed, which I think kind of helped with the jet lag. And then I didn't sleep at all on the flight, so I'd been awake. So I'd been awake for like 20 plus hours, 24 plus hours at that stage. So yeah. Then my tongue is gone pink because of this chewing gum. Look. So then we woke up on the Friday morning, met up with the friend that I had been in contact with, near where my brother works. He works in a restaurant, and we went in for lunch while my brother was working. He had no idea what was going on, which was like the best thing ever. So we went in, turned our backs to him, and like my mom has like blonde, like super blonde, really, really curly hair. Could notice her from a mile away. Me, on the other hand, if you were looking at the back of my head, you'd be none the wiser on who I was. So he said it was the second that Mom took down her hood and like he saw this blonde curly hair, he was just like, this is amazing. But yeah, he basically said that he thought his knees were going to drop from under him, and he was in the middle of serving somebody. I think he was in the middle of serving a table, and he said like he thought he was going to drop all the plates and everything. So to say he was happy to see us would be an understatement. But it was so lovely and such a nice surprise, and yeah, well worth the shitty 9.5 hour flight and 7 hour layover in London, and just being tired and everything, just to see him, even though we had only seen him in August, to be in Vancouver where he lives just go off at random times sometimes. I think it's like on its way out. It's almost broken, but I just wasn't sure if you'd be able to hear that. But anywho, I can't remember where I was in my story time. I know I told you all about surprising him, all that kind of stuff. But yes, it was just lovely to see him. It was a lovely surprise, all that good stuff. Vancouver is gorgeous. I went to New York this time last year with my boyfriend, and I think as the city goes, New York is going to ruin every city experience I ever have ever again. Just saying. New York is beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. I fell in love with New York, so did my boyfriend. The one thing about New York is it's nostalgic. So you have, like, everywhere you turn, you're like, oh, I saw that in a movie, or I saw that in a TV show, or, you know, it's those little things that you remember. Sorry, my fringe is sitting all funny. But it's those little things with New York. With Vancouver, I found it was like a very corporate type city. So there was a lot of like offices and very few like shops. But like that didn't bother me. As long as I got Sephora, I was fine. So I was happy once I saw Sephora. I was like, I'm good. I don't need anything else. So yeah, Vancouver is lovely. Like if it wasn't a 9.5-hour flight, I would probably move out there with my brother. My poor mother would absolutely kill the two of us being the other side of the world. But it's just, the flight time is so long. I think with the East Coast, like New York, Toronto, like anywhere along the East Coast, at least you know you would be home in like 5.5, 6 hours. Obviously not further south, but like from like New York up as far as like Toronto and stuff, you know you're home within 5.5, 6 hours. And the direct flights all year round as well, so that helps. Because I think what was so annoying was the fact that we flew Dublin to London to then fly over Dublin again. That was what was annoying. But yeah. So anyway, Vancouver's great. We went for dinner on the Saturday. Me and Mum kind of explored a little bit Saturday morning, and then we went for dinner. Me, my mum, my brother, and a few of my brother's friends that he has over there. The Sunday we went to do the Vancouver Lookout. So it was like this big round tower kind of thing, and you just got to see views of Vancouver. And then we went to watch the NFL game. It was the first time. I love the NFL, or the Niffle. I call it the Niffle. I love the NFL, and like any of the games that we watch here at home are always at like either 9 p.m. at night or like 1 a.m. in the morning. So it was nice to like have a game on at a normal time. I think it was like at 5:20 or something. So yeah, I love the NFL. Try to watch the Super Bowl every year, but it's so hard when it, like, depending on where in America the Super Bowl is being played, depends on what time it gets shown in Ireland, and it's always so late. I think there was one year that like we had to stay up until like 3 a.m. I couldn't make it past the halftime show. Even last year I couldn't make it past Rihanna. I was like, I need my bed. I was so tired. Because I think it was like the halftime show was on like 1:30 in the morning, and I morning because I will not stay up for nobody. But yeah, so it was nice to be able to watch an NFL game in like a really cool sports bar at a normal hour of the morning, or a normal hour of the day. Got fried pickles. I love pickles and I love anything fried, so combining the two together made my trip. And then I lived on fried pickles for the following 3 days after that. But yeah, it was great. We even went to a hockey game. I'm trying to think, what else did we do? A hockey game. Ate out all the time. I tried poutine, which is like a Canadian delicacy. Tried poutine. I don't know if I was a huge fan. I probably would try it again, maybe in somewhere like another place. Maybe it was just the place that I had it. What else? Fried pickles are my new favorite thing. Like, honestly, pickles that are fried, I happily will take them. Oh, I went to McDonald's. That is like the strangest thing to go and do. But just before the hockey game, I was so hungry, and I was a little bit hungover, not gonna lie. So I went to McDonald's because I was like, I have to try a Canadian McDonald's because it's going to be completely different to Ireland. And went into McDonald's and I got a maple barbecue. I think it was like a limited edition Christmas burger or something. But I got a maple barbecue bacon quarter pounder or something like that. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was a maple barbecue sauce and it was beautiful. Canadians like putting maple with everything. Genius. 100% here for it. Amazing. The only thing I was not a fan of was I brought home a Canadian whiskey, a Canadian maple whiskey, and it's just too sweet. I'd say it'd be nice in like a cocktail or something, but on its own to drink, neat. Not a big fan. But yeah, so yeah, we had a great time. It was a lovely surprise for my brother. It was great to see him. Me and my brother are a little bit like chalk and cheese. Like, I love him. He's my brother. We don't have very similar interests and stuff, but when I get to see him, especially when he lives the other side of the world, it's amazing. And yeah, I love him to bits. So to be able to surprise him for his birthday was the best feeling in the world. The sun is starting to show. The weather's been so weird since I came back. It was so much warmer in Canada compared to here. Like, we left here and it was like -5 degrees Celsius leaving here, and like it was averaging at like 9-10 degrees Celsius in Canada every day. So, and since I've come back,